This is the page that you get sent to when you log in. One of the benefits of having this new system is that I've got a new type of software that I can use to create courses. It's called a learning management software, and it's a really nice format for putting information in a sort of learning environment. So let me just show you. So I've been using this quite a bit. Some of the things I use it for are actual courses. So some of the old courses that we had on the Moodle site, I have actually moved over. This is Robert's one on leaseholder landlords. So if you're a business level member, you can now get that one as part of your membership. We've also got the property inspection kit, which is also available for business. I'm afraid these are only available for business level members, not for the basic level members, or the ones that include videos. This has been quite popular, this property inspection kit, and if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend that you have a look at it, and you open it up by clicking these things here, so you can look at the different sections that way. So that's that. One of the things that I'm doing, which I would recommend that you look at and use, are the checklists. And these again are business level members only. I've only done 3 of them so far. They're taking me a while to do, but I think you should find them very useful, because they take you through all the different things that you need to do at particular stages of being a landlord. So this one is about getting the property ready. And I've put on it at the top Dave's webinar that he did, training webinar he did a couple of months ago, or last month actually, on this. And then there's things to do about different types of renting, and then there's all the things that you need to do here. So it's useful as a checklist. If you're dealing with a new property, what you can do is when you've done each of the things, you can check them there, and then you'll be able to see what you've done. And then if you want to use it again for another property, then you can just uncheck all of them and then go through and check them again as you go through for your new property. Now you can go back to the checklist index there. So the next one is about finding a new tenant. So these are all the things that you need to do when you are taking in a new tenant. And there's a bit of information about the different types of tenants, the documents that you'll need, the checks that you'll need to do, the things to consider. And then the final one that I've done is quite an important one, which is the one to help you when you're actually setting up the tenancy. This goes through, it starts off with a few things that you should already have done, just to remind you, and then these are the things that you need to do: the schedule of fees, the supplementary tenancy forms, notices that you might need to do, putting in place arrangements for rent, protecting the deposit, the how to rent booklet. And so there's information about where you find all of these things. So I'm going to have to change that picture because they've changed the cover picture on the guide, meter readings and all of those things. If there's anything that I haven't done for any of these, let me know and I can add it if you spot anything that I've missed. We do also have some legal basics courses, and these are available to all members. So if you're a basic member, you get access to these because they haven't got any video content. And these are about the law, but they will help you understand, hopefully, some of the general principles that underlie landlord and tenant law, because a tenancy is sort of legally, it's a sort of combination between land law and contract law. So you've got a bit there about contract law, you've got a bit there about land law, and it also involves trust and equity elements. So we've got a general course there. This one here, the agency law, this is quite a detailed course. It's more detailed than the other ones. In fact, I did sell it at one stage. It was on the Moodle site and I sold it there. But I put it here because agency law is actually quite important. And I think if you are an agent or if you use an agent, it's a good idea for you to have a look at this because agency law works in a way that some people don't always appreciate. It's basically a different type of contract law that applies when one person is authorised by another person to make a contract on their behalf. And there's a set of laws that apply in that situation. One of them is that the agent is in a special relationship to the landlord, and they owe them an extra special duty of care. So if an agent is basically making money from the relationship, and this hasn't been disclosed to the landlord, who is the principal in the landlord agent third party triangle, then the landlord can actually claim that money from the agent, and it's treated as his rather than the agent's. There are a few other things there, so have a look at the legal basics course for that. Another thing that we've got is the forum, and you can find that there. And this seems to be going quite well. We seem to have quite a few people asking questions in the forum, so that's nice. Don't forget that we've got these, with the questions, we've got these things here that you can use to vote them up and down. When you're asking a question in the forum, I would appreciate it if you could first of all do a search on the site to check whether the thing that you're asking a question about is actually on the site, because often I find that the answers that I do to forum questions are saying, I've done a frequently asked question about this, you'll find this here. The best way to find something is that if you go in the topics, you'll see that we've got various topics. So if your question relates to something to do with tenancy deposits, if you go to the tenancy deposits topic page, you will find there all the content relating to tenancy deposit, and you can have a look at all the frequently asked questions there. Now, it hasn't been possible to fit, I wanted to have 10 topics, but it hasn't been possible to fit all the information into the 10 topics precisely. So to make up the difference, I've set up what I've called special information pages. And this is where I've collected all the content that we have on particular issues together on one page. Now, you've probably all seen the Tenant Fees Act information, which is quite an important page. I've put all the content on tenant fees, the Tenant Fees Act on there, so that you should be able to find that there. And then down here you'll see the other special information page. So there's one about right to rent, there's one about section 21, there's the landlord's documents and forms page, which is a page where we have links hopefully to all the documents on the site. So if you want to create a document, come here and look for it, because that should be where you'll find it. We also have a landlord law shop, and this is where you can buy things. Now, there's not an awful lot there at the moment. There's a couple of ebooks, and there's the property inspection kit for people who aren't business level members. Now, the point about these things is that if you want to buy any of these, you can use your points. So if you've got 150 points or more, you can actually buy the foundations on landlord and tenant law using your points. So how you do that is you add it to your basket, and then and it tells you what your points balance is, and then you proceed to check out, and then it tells you how you can add the points. So you go down here, and then you can put the points there. So I've got 23 points on this test account, so I can put the 23 points here. Whoops. And then that will be, so apply points discount, and then that will be a discount off the cost of the product. Now, you may not particularly want to buy anything there at the moment, but I am working on the Landlord Law Conference course, and Landlord Law members will be able to offset their points if you want to buy the conference course. I'd also like to direct your attention to the help system. There are a number of help documents that I've created, and that you can find them all there. Now, you can go back to the main site by clicking that. You can also access the help documents via the little green button that you'll find there. Now this is different from the green button that's on the old Landlord Law site. There are two separate different help systems because I thought it was best to keep the old Landlord one separate from this one. But they work in a very similar way. So if you're confused about using the forum, so you can put forum in there and click, and then you'll see the article there about using the Landlord Law forum. And that will come up there. If that doesn't answer your question, you can get rid of that, and then you can click the ask, and then you can fill in that little thing there and send a message, and that will reach us, and Tina or I will get back to you. There's our pictures there. This is the HMO course. This again is a business level members content only, and this is actually created from a workshop that David Smith did for us earlier in the year, and I've chopped it up and put little sections of the recording in different sections, so you can look it up, and I would suggest that you refer to this if you are an HMO landlord.